Hello, this is Paula at the Giodone Library, and this is Paula's Picks. And today I am going to read stories about dresses. The first one I want to read is Morris Micklewhite and his Tangerine Dress. And it is written by Christine Baldacchino and illustrated by Isabel Mellifont. And I'm reading this with permission from Groundwood Books. Morris Micklewhite and the Tangerine Dress. Morris Micklewhite had a mother named Morai and a cat named Moo. Morris likes Sundays because his mother makes him pancakes on Sundays. Mondays are great too because on Mondays, Morris goes to school. Morris likes lots of things about school. He likes to paint, he likes to do puzzles, he likes the apple juice at snack time, and singing the loudest during circle time. Most of all, Morris likes the dress-up center and the tangerine dress. Morris likes the color of the dress. It reminds him of tigers, the sun, and his mother's hair. He likes the noise the dress makes, swish, swish, swish when he walks, and crinkle, crinkle, crinkle when he sits down. He takes turns wearing all the different shoes, but his most favorite goes click, click, click across the floor. Look at that beautiful dress. Sometimes the boys make fun of Morris. Sometimes the girls do too. Morris pretends he can't hear their words over the swish, swish, swishes, crinkle, crinkle, crinkles, and click, click, clicks he makes when he walks. Morris pretends he can't hear the words, but he can. On Monday, Becky tried to pull the dress right off his back. "You can't wear it. You're a boy." On Tuesday, Eli, Henry, and the other boys wouldn't let Morris ride on their spaceship unless he took the dress off. Astronauts don't wear dresses. On Wednesday, Bee and Lila noticed Morris's fingernails. His mother had painted them for him the night before. They chased him around the playground shouting, "Pinky fingers, pinky fingers." On Thursday, the boys wouldn't sit near Morris at the snack table. "We don't want you to turn us into girls." On Friday, Morris pretended he had a tummy ache. When he thought of all the kids in his class and all the mean things they did and said, his tummy ached for real. His mother let him stay in the bed and read books about elephants. Moo sat in his lap. Moo liked elephants too. On Saturday, Morris's mother brought him some apple juice. As he took a sip, she stroked his hair. Moo purred loudly. Morris suddenly felt well enough to do a puzzle. He hummed to himself and felt better still. On Sunday, Morris crawled out from under the covers after a wonderful dream about being on a space safari with Moo. In the dream, they saw big blue elephants and tigers, the color of the sun, that Morris could hold in the palm of his hand. The elephants swish, swish, swished as they moved through the grass, and the tigers ate giant leaves that crinkle, crinkle, crinkled as their tiny teeth chewed them. The buttons on the spaceship click, click, clicked until under Morris's fingers. Morris wanted to share all the amazing things he had seen. He took out his brushes, put on his smock, and began to paint, using every color he could imagine. He showed the painting to his mother when he was done. He pointed out the big blue elephant, the tiny tiger, the color of the sun, the tall grass, and the giant leaves. He pointed out Moo in his shiny, round space helmet. "And who's that?" his mother asked, pointing at the little boy in the tangerine dress, riding atop the big blue elephant. Morris was hoping she'd asked. "That's me," he said. There's his picture. On Monday, Morris went to school with his painting rolled up in his backpack. When he had a chance, he put on the dress that reminded him of tigers and the sun and his mother's hair. Morris swish, swish, swished. The tangerine dress crinkle, crinkle, crinkled. His shoes click, click, clicked. Morris felt wonderful. Eli and Henry wouldn't let him play in the spaceship, so Morris built his own. He hung his painting on the front of it and climbed in, ready to take off. "Are there really elephants in space?" Eli asked. "And tigers?" "If you follow me, we can find out," Morris offered. Eli and Henry followed Morris to a planet they had never visited before. As they explored, Morris swish, swish, swished. The tangerine dress crinkle, crinkle, crinkled, and his shoe click, clicked, clicked. By the time they returned to Earth, Eli and Henry had decided that it didn't matter if astronauts wore dresses or not. The best astronauts were the ones who knew where all the good adventures were hiding. Morris smiled. He already knew that. When snack time was over, Becky demanded the dress. Morris told her she could have it when he was done with it. "Boys don't wear dresses," Becky snipped. Morris smiled as he swished, crinkled, and clicked back to his spaceship. "This boy does." Pretty dress, huh? I would like to wear that too. So my second book is about a dress and a girl, and it is called The Dress and the Girl. And I am reading this with permission of Abram Children's Book. It is written by Camille Andros and illustrated by Julie Morstadt. The Dress and the Girl. Back when time seemed slower and life simpler, there was a dress much like many others, made for a girl by her mother. The dress loved the girl, and the girl loved the dress. They spent each day together, an ordinary girl wearing an ordinary dress. Every day, the same story. They rode in a wagon. They sailed in a boat. They went to school, jumped rope, and played tag. But they longed for the extraordinary, something singular, stunning, or sensational. Instead, life continued on in quite an ordinary fashion, picking daffodils, feeling the wind, and staring at the stars. Then one day, it came time to leave. Their story was changing. But still, they rode in a wagon. They sailed in a boat. They went to school, jumped roped, and played tag. Finally, the dress and the girl arrived. They wondered if now was the time for something singular, stunning, or sensational, for something extraordinary. Instead, the dress was folded up and placed into a trunk. The dress waited for the girl to find her. She waited and waited, but the girl never came. So the dress set out to find the girl. Alone, she rode in a wagon. She sailed on a boat, but she did not go to school, jump rope, or play tag. Instead, she traveled the world, searching. Day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year, each day, week, month, and year, telling a different story. While she searched, the dress thought about the girl. Feeling the wind dance with her was singular. Picking daffodils together had been quite stunning. And staring at the stars, sensational. She missed the girl. The dress was tired, so she needed to rest. From her new spot, the dress could see the world all around her. People moved quickly with heads down, passing by on their way to important or not so important places. One day, a woman walked by. She glanced up at the dress and stopped. She did not move quickly down the street. She looked and looked. In that look, the dress and the girl remembered. Right there. They remembered riding in wagons. They remembered sailing in boats. They remembered going to school, jumping rope, and playing tag. They remembered daffodils, dancing wind, and starry skies. Every day, its own story. They had found each other at last, and that was quite extraordinary. I love that book. Now her little girl is wearing the dress. Okay, so I have one last book. It's called Jamailas Dress, Story and Pictures by Nikki Daly, and I'm reading this with permission from Macmillan. Jamailas Dress. Mama was very pleased with the new material she found at Nandy's. She had worked hard to earn the money for it. It's beautiful, Mama, said Jamila, stroking the crisp new material. Yes, it's beautiful. It costs a lot of money, but I need something special to wear for Thelma's wedding, said Mama. There's that beautiful material. Jamila helped Mama wash the stiffness out of the new material. Together, they hung it up to dry. I'll look after it, Mama, said Jamila. Thank you, said Mama. Just make sure Taxi doesn't jump up and dirty my material. Okay, said Jamila. A warm breeze blew. Jamila rubbed her cheek against the soft material and followed the beautiful patterns with her finger. When Taxi barked, Mama called, Jamila, are you looking after my material? Yes, Mama, it's getting nice and dry, said Jamila. Dreamily, Jamila swayed between the flows of the material as they flapped and wrapped around her into a dress. When Mama heard nothing going on, she called, Are you looking after my material, Jamila? There was no answer. Down the road went Jamila, proud as a peacock to show Thelma her beautiful dress for the wedding. She passed Miss Styles' hairdresser and the snack pack grocery. Hi, beautiful, called old Greasy Hands, who was fixing up Thelma's wedding car. There she is, marching down the street. Children sang, Quayla, Jamila, African Queen. Taxi barked, and Mrs. Zeeby's chicken went wild. Then a boy on a bicycle who wasn't looking where he was going went skidding all over Mama's dress material. What a show! In his photo studio, Archie heard the commotion. He ran out, clutching his special camera, and shouted, Hold it, Jamila! So Jamila posed. The children pushed in. Taxi pushed in. Mrs. Zeeby and her chicken pushed in. And the boy on the bicycle just squeezed in. They all smiled. Click! But when Thelma saw Jamila, she scolded, Hey, Jamila, your mama's going to be very upset when she sees what you've done to her material. And Mama was so upset that she couldn't even look at Jamila. She just looked at the dirty, torn material and said sadly, "What am I going to wear to the wedding?" Everyone felt sorry for Mama and cross with Jamila. Even Jamila was cross with Jamila. She hadn't meant to ruin Mama's material. It just happened. A few days later, Archie saw Jamila coming down the road without her usual smile. He called, "Hey, Jamila, why so sad? Come see the good news." Pointing to the front page photograph in the newspaper, Archie read proudly, "Quayla Jamila, African Queen, a prize-winning photograph taken by Archie Camundo." But instead of looking happy, Jamila started to cry, and she told Archie all about Mama's messed up material. "That's a sad, sad story, Jamila," said Archie, "but it has a happy ending." He put his hand into a bag. Jamila wiped her eyes. "See," said Archie, taking out a bundle of money. "I won big bucks for that photograph." Jamila had never seen so much money. "You can buy lots of things at the shops with that money, Archie," said Jamila. "Right," Archie laughed. "That's the happy ending." In the afternoon, Archie arrived carrying a gift for Jamila's mother. "What is this, Archie?" Mama asked in surprise. "Open it, Mama, open it," cried Jamila. Mama unwrapped the parcel. Inside was a beautiful piece of material from Nundi's, just like the first piece. Jamila jumped up and down. "Thank you, Archie," said Mama. "No, you must thank Quayla Jamila, African Queen," said Archie, holding up his prize-winning photograph. When Mama saw it, she gave Jamila a big hug. After Archie had gone, Jamila helped Mama wash the material and hang it up to dry. "It's the most beautiful material in the world," said Jamila. Mama just smiled. They sang songs as they watched the feathery patterns dance in the warm breeze. Then Mama and Jamila played a hand-clapping game for a while. "Let's do teapops, Mama," cried Jamila. So Jamila taught Mama to do a little song about a teapot with a spout. They dipped and tipped, the tea poured out. When they stopped, the material felt warm and dry. So Mama showed Jamila how to fold it, just as she had learned to do when she was a little girl. That evening, Mama cut and sewed until she had her special dress to wear to Thelma's wedding. When she finished, there was a piece of material left over. Mama measured it with her eye, this way and that way. Then she looked at sleeping Jamila and smiled. The hands of the clock passed midnight, and Mama was still hard at work. Every now and then she sang softly to herself, "Quayla Jamila, African Queen." Next day at the wedding, Thelma looked radiant. Mama looked lovely. And when Archie said, "Smile, everyone," guess who had the biggest smile? Quayla Jamila, African Queen. That's who. Very beautiful pictures in that book. I love those pictures. Okay, now I have a little craft for you, making dresses. Well, a dress on a doll. And it's a little bit trickier than most of the crafts. So first of all, you need 2 pipe cleaners. And then you need a napkin. Now this is like a fancy party napkin, and it's a little bit thicker. So with this one, I'm going to cut it in half. But if you have just like everyday napkins, they're not as thick as the party ones. So you can use the entire napkin. I've done one on that too. And then you need like embroidery thread or ribbon. I have this ribbon that's really, really thin. Or you can also use yarn. I used yarn on one. And let me show you, because I didn't show you, did I? Let's see, over here. So here's the little dolls with their napkin dresses. There's those 2. I use different types of napkins for each one. See how many you can make? If you have napkins and pipe cleaners, you can make a lot. So the first thing you need to do is fold the pipe cleaners in half. I got that one a little off. I want it to be the same. That one, and then this one. And then for one of them, it's going to be the head and the legs. So you want to make a little loop on the top for the head. Let me see if you can see. I need to go over here so you can see. And then I'm just going to twist it around a little bit so it stays. So twist the pipe cleaner so the head stays. And there it is. Let's see. There's the head and the legs. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. And then this one, the second one, is going to be the arms and the body. So take the first one, and I'm going to start about down here, twisting. Then put around where you folded it around the body. And then I'm going to twist this one around, twist this one around, and I'm going to keep doing that as I go up. And that's so the arms come out even. You don't want one arm a lot longer than the other arm. And then we want to go all to the top so that the arms are in the right place. There we go. I think my arm is a little bit too long. There we go. So let me see. Oh, I got their legs wrong a little bit. It just takes a little, see that? There we go. Okay, so that's the body. Now with the napkin that's going to be the dress, you want to fold it. You want to make creases. So there's one. And I'm just folding it the same way, just making little creases. That's to add texture to the dress. And I'm going to keep going. Oops. This takes a lot longer. Oh, and you'll notice too that as I'm doing that, I'm making sure that there is a crease because you want the crease to be in the dress. I'm almost done because you have to do something else with the napkin. So there's it all rolled up into the creases. And then I'm going to twist the napkin. That makes it look more like a dress rather than paper. So twist, 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 twist. And then I am unfolding it. There we go. So see how it looks all textured now? Now, you want to hold it so it's like a diamond shape rather than the square diamond. Because this little point on the top, you're going to cut it off. You're going to cut it like circular rather than straight across. Make it kind of dip. That's going to be where her head goes. Like that. And then, see how the dress is too long? I'm going to cut that across too, so that her dress isn't too long for her. So I'm just cutting it. Yeah, I kind of got her feet wrong. One leg is longer than the other. There we go. And then this is the tricky part because you got two sections. You want to open it up. And then this is where you're going to lay her in so that she's got her back. Oops, I want to go under the arm. She's got her back part of her dress and the front part of her dress. So she fits in. Then I just kind of have to mess with it so that she's got her dress all the way up. And then you want to squeeze it. And you do kind of have to adjust it as you're squeezing. Squeeze it, squeeze it. I'm just adjusting here. And then that's where you take your ribbon or your embroidery and then you wrap it around and tie it around her middle so that her dress stays in place. That color is not that great. Yeah, the ribbon, I only need one. With the embroidery thread, you'll have to go round and round and round. And then there she is. And then a lot of times, oops, her ribbon came off. A lot of times the dress on the bottom will come out in different ways. And then it looks like different dresses Like, where's my one that's all flow? This one. See how that one came out that way? And it just does that when you're pressing them down. But there you have. You'll have your little dancing girls in their new dresses. So thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, our summer reading program is still going on. So if you haven't joined yet, you still can at www.pueblolibrary.org/summer reading. Thank you, everyone.